Alright, we're here with Todd Gordon, crew chief of number 22 Shell Pennzoil Dodge Charger, and the Dinger Fan 22 would like to know how one becomes a crew chief for a NASCAR team.
It's a good question. Seems like that path takes several years to get through. You know, everybody has that same story, but I can tell you my first job in NASCAR was actually pushing a broom. I cleaned shop for a nationwide team back in '99 when I moved south. So work your way through it. Was a racer before I got here, and just worked my way up through the ranks. I turned wrenches, fabricated, became an engineer, and worked my way through that and through the nationwide series, and got the opportunity to come over here to Penske to do the nationwide program last year and move forward from there.
Alright, Chassis Cat would like to know if you would like to see the rules allow for more rear alignment adjustments on a road course.
Given the way these cars are built, solid rear axle, NASCAR keeps us to a maximum of 2 degrees of camber both sides, and from that's a, and then there's a obviously there's a toe adjustment that they kind of keep us in point of. I think it's about 1 degree of toe either side. So it'd be nice if these things were a little more adjustable during a race weekend where you could do it quickly without having to change housings. That'd definitely be easier, but it's the same ball game for everybody.
Kevin Grabenell would like to know if you think the 2013 NASCAR will stop the 2-car draft without the aid of the new rule package.
It's a good question. I think that's a conversation that the manufacturers have had with NASCAR, that as they've developed the new cars, they're trying to make sure that we don't get in the box that we were in. Obviously, the aerodynamic drag that you see on these cars, that 2-car tandem is definitely beneficial. But we've done a lot to kind of break that up and get back to pack racing this year. And I think in the development of the new cars, some of that's kind of being kept in mind when the manufacturers coming up with their new stuff. So I think you'll see less of it, but obviously we work hard to try to get as fast a race car as we can when we get to speedway races.
Okay, Abby would like to know, what is the hardest part about your job, and how do you decide on a strategy?
The hardest part within a race weekend is trying to find the balance between keeping track of, focusing on your race car and everything you need to do there, and keeping yourself aware of where everybody else is, because racetracks tend to slow down, and you can make changes and think that they're worse just because pace is slowing down. So trying to keep track of where we're at with relative changes and how they affect speed, that affects that. To your strategy question, I think there's 3 major factors we look at throughout a weekend. Obviously, tire fall off in practice and what we expect in the race, your fuel mileage, and that'll dictate a lot of what you do with the strategy. And then looking at past history, we'll pay attention to how many cautions there's been in previous races, where they tend to cluster, what the probabilities are of when they'll fall, and try to come up with a plan that puts us in the position we want to be at the end of the race. You kind of have to race these races backwards.